It is truly, truly time to wake up. There's going to be a tsunami in the job markets. Now, I've been warning people since June 2022, but instead of fearing it, we're going to talk about what we can do about it. That's the key to this. We need to stop fighting an invisible enemy and we need to take action right now. Your decisions, your behaviors, your budget, and your investments right now could radically change your life. My name is Coach JV. What I work to do is I work to make complex strategies very simple. I study the past very deeply so I can predict the future. I don't listen to doctrine. I go to the origin of what is happening and I seek wise counsel. So the information I'm about to share with you is based on facts, figures, numbers, logic, and my own interpretation of what I think is going to happen with the markets. I've adjusted all my investment strategies the last 4 years, and I've radically transformed my family's life. We focus on what's called the 5 pillars of wealth, the foundation being rewiring the foundation so we end up in another situation. We've helped over 7,000 warriors worldwide in our Warrior Academy with a like-minded community, helping them understand what's happening. So in the description down below, you can join our private Warrior Academy. Also, we're getting hundreds of messages a day around tax code 7702, tax-free retirement. If you're worried about your 401k or you're worried about your retirement or you don't know your retirement number, it's time to get your shit together straight up, okay? The capital markets are going to be pulling back big time. So we set up I started my own insurance team. I got licensed. I have licensed insurance agents in all 50 states. I've been using Index Universal Life for 3 years now. And you can have a free conversation. I'm very clear on that. A free conversation with our team could take 1, 2 to 3 to 4 conversations to understand how tax code 7702 works and many different options with insurance on how the wealthy secure, compound, and grow their wealth. That's in the description of this video or in my social media platform. It's a free consultation. Okay. So that's for the insurance team. And then the academy is the 5 pillars of wealth. So let's dive right into it. I want to make sure you know as well, I will never proactively DM you. We do not invest people's money. Never send anybody money pretending to be me. That is not me that you're speaking to. I'm going to say that on every single video. I don't care what it looks like or if it's janky that I say that on every video, but I'd rather protect my friends and I love you guys with all my heart. All right, so let's dive right into it, family. So I want to talk about the job markets. Now, I know it's not exciting with crypto and stuff like that, but this is really, 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 really important. I want you to understand financial education. So when I tell you that interest rates are going up, and Jerome Powell says that, we have to understand or understand what that does to the job markets. They started raising interest rates in 2022, and their narrative was that the job markets are doing great. Well, of course they are. You came off a pandemic where you shut all businesses down and all businesses were trying to ramp back up. But you also shut off the money supply, the M2 money supply in the beginning of this year, and then interest rates continue to go up. And I'm going to show you what Jerome Powell said at the Jackson Hole meeting, guys. When interest rates go up, the job markets start to shake. I told you guys, Q3, Q4, you're going to see the reverberation effects of high interest rates. You're going to see people getting laid off from their jobs. You're going to see the capital markets come collapsing down. We're going to see a 1929 Great Depression, or people call it the recession, whatever you want to call it. But it's going to radically transform the financial system. And then they're going to bring us into a new monetary system. Problem, reaction, solution. At the end of this video, I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm doing, not financial advice, but maybe it'll help you. I know it works for me, may not work for you. So let's listen to this 3 weeks ago. It says worse than expected U.S. jobs report, and then we'll dive into what Jerome Powell said and then my narrative around it.
That worse than expected jobs report now. The Labor Department says the U.S. economy added 187,000 jobs last month, while the unemployment rate dropped to 3.5%. ABC News' Elizabeth Schulze is at the Labor Department with more. Elizabeth, we're seeing this cool down in the job market. And in a way, that's a good thing because the Fed wants to see that in terms of trying to lower inflation. So what does this tell you about the economy in general and the possibility of future rate hikes from the Fed?
Well, you're exactly right, Diane. This is the kind of jobs report that the Federal Reserve has been looking to see. The job growth is still strong. 187,000 new jobs in July is a historically rapid pace of hiring. And we did see broad-based gains, especially in industries like healthcare, financial services, social services. Some of those service sector industries are still adding back tens of thousands of workers every month. But at the same time, that overall pace of hiring is cooling off. Employers aren't going at this red hot pace that we've been seeing in the months coming out of the pandemic. And really until recent months, this pace has slowed down. And what that means, why that's good for the Federal Reserve, Diane, is because that could put less pressure on inflation. The way that plays out is if employment is so tight, if the jobs market is so tight, that makes it harder for companies to hire workers. They keep raising pay higher and higher. That's good for workers, but that does also put pressure on inflation. So what the Federal Reserve is looking for is a number like this that's slower, but still strong enough that maybe that kind of downturn scenario could be avoided, Diane.
Okay, so they're in a delicate balance now. Listen to what they're saying. So the job markets are pumping right now. Now they're starting to slow down. The Federal Reserve needs to see the job market cool down, which is your job, so they can cool inflation. Well, how the hell can you pay for your products if you don't have a job? So they're trying to cool down milk, gas, all that stuff. But if you don't have a job and every single dollar in the system is someone else's debt, we're in a dangerous position. They are playing with fire and they do not have a fix to this other than creating a brand new monetary system, on-demand liquidity, moving money at the speed of light. So this is Jerome Powell at the Jackson Hole meeting talking about this. So that was 3 weeks ago. This is him talking about interest rates, and then I'll show you what's happening with the job markets.
At last year's Jackson Hole Symposium, I delivered a brief, direct message. My remarks this year will be a bit longer, but the message is the same. It is the Fed's job to bring inflation down to our 2% goal, and we will do so.
So I want to make that very clear. He has made it very clear that they're bringing it down to 2%, guys. That means they have to keep raising interest rates. You're going to see interest rates continue to skyrocket. If you are a CEO of a company, which I am, it makes it more expensive to borrow. It makes it more expensive to run your company. So now we have high inflation. We have high interest rates. It's wild, guys. This is a very dangerous position for our economy to be in.
We have tightened policy significantly over the past year. Although inflation has moved down from its peak, a welcome development, it remains too high. We are prepared to raise rates further if appropriate and intend to hold policy at a restrictive level until we are confident that inflation is moving sustainably down toward our objective.
Okay, so he's told us we are not stopping raising rates until we get inflation down to 2%. We're not even close, guys. So through 2024, maybe into 2025, you're going to see a raise in interest rates, which is going to continue to shape the job markets. There's rumors of lockdowns going on again, right? That's going to shake the job markets. So wouldn't that be a great excuse to bring in a central bank digital currency so you can get assistance to people really fast? Wouldn't it be a great excuse to bring in a new digital age if everybody's back locked down again and you're switching their consumer behaviors? Don't you need a shock to the system to change consumer behaviors, as Rosie Rios said, to reduce coin and cash usage? Right? Why would you create bank bailing committees in 2012 that you're using now? All the banks are over leveraged, right? We know China's over leveraged, America's over leveraged, Russia's over leveraged. Well, interesting enough, after the Great Depression, we went to war, and war creates GDP growth. So family, I guarantee you, and well, my opinion, China's going to invade Taiwan. We're going to go into World War III, and that could be down the road, but that's the scenario that's being set up based on Ray Dalio's changing world order, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. So the job markets are cooling down as higher interest rates are slowing the economy, takes a toll. Right? And we go over here, you start to look at all the companies that are starting to lay off. CVS Health to lay off 288 employees, which isn't too bad, but still each person is someone not putting money into the system because every dollar is someone else's debt. T-Mobile will lay off 5,000 employees, or 7% of its workforce, in the coming weeks. And then I pulled up this thing off link two off of my profile here, and it has all the different companies. I think it was updated 39 minutes ago. T-Mobile, Uwal Labs, CoinDesk, 18 people, cybersecurity company. We got some of the CVS. We talked about that one. JP Morgan, Grubhub. What else do we got here? There's a bunch. Look at all these companies that are laying people off. All these companies are starting to lay people. Disney, 7,000. What does it say? Could estimate 7,000 workers. Sega, 121 employees. So family, each person you see on here is going to cause a reverberation effect. Remember, every dollar is someone else's debt. America's at 120% debt to ratio. If you walked into the bank, they do not have your money. Sounds very similar to 1971. If you walked into the bank, you could not get your money back in gold because they didn't have it. And President Nixon said he's protecting us from speculators. Since 1913, specifically 1971, the value of your dollar has continued to collapse. And yes, the dollar is the strongest currency in all the world because the central banks hold it in treasuries. But remember, the bonds inverted on the beginning of this year. So what does high interest rates mean in a simplic form? Shit like this. Bankruptcies among private equity portfolio companies on track for 13-year high. Private equity portfolio companies in the U.S. are on course in 2023 to post their highest number of annual bankruptcies since filing in 2010. That was after the big 2006, 2008 collapse, right? So here's what I think is going to happen. This is my opinion, not financial advice. Don't make any financial moves based on what I'm saying. I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm doing, which is in our Warrior Academy as well. We explain this. Okay. So what's going to happen is the interest rates are going to continue to go up, right? We're in a a high interest rate environment. We're in a high inflation environment, and we're also in an environment where we are over leveraged as a country. We have more debt than we have income. Okay, we got downgraded, so now it costs more to borrow. Okay, so that's going to start to shake the capital markets because the companies your 401k is invested in on the S&P are starting to file bankruptcy. Not all of them, but many of them at an all-time high since 2010. So you're going to start a lot of bankruptcies with companies. You're going to see a big market pullback where the end of the Shemitah, 1 year after the Shemitah, is September 1st. You're going to see a massive market pullback. So we need to pay attention to that. Do the opposite of the 99%. So everybody's like, what's my strategy? Here's my simple strategy. I'm not some chart watcher. I'm a emotional, cyclic human behavior watcher. That's what I do, macroeconomics. When this market pulls back and everybody's panicking, cryptocurrency, I'm going to be buying the dip. I also dollar cost average in every single week. I've been waiting for this moment. When I buy in, I'm buying people's fear. Okay. Warren Buffett, buy when there's blood in the streets. We set our strategy, our exit plan with Merlin as we go into 2024, 2025. We'll be out to the public very soon. We created a solve for this. Okay. I have a spreadsheet exit strategy. So as it goes up after the Bitcoin halving 2024 into 2025, as that thing is going parabolic and everybody starts coming into crypto, we are exiting crypto, the opposite. We have no greed gene anymore. We got punked before in this markets. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. We're doing what the elites do. We're going to start pulling profits. And so when we have a large amount of profits, you pay your capital gains. If you maybe some of you guys are a little bit more savvy around doing it through trust and all that stuff, who knows? But I'm not that savvy yet. So I'll have a large amount of cryptocurrency coming out of the markets, and then I have diversification. I'm going to be looking at increasing my policies for index universal life. It's very important how you structure those. Okay, I won't be dumping big amounts in there. It's based on, your death benefit, all that stuff. But that's one of my strategies. Index universal life for tax-free retirement. Also becoming my own bank. I'm going to buy more precious metals. I'm going to be looking at more real estate for tax liabilities. And I am big on business because business has changed my life. And I have equity in multiple companies, and I've been able to crush inflation and also increase my earning capacity every single quarter. So every time my earning capacity goes up and I have more income coming in, I put more income into investments. I'm not buying Lamborghinis and big houses and all that stuff. I live in a modest home. I do modest things, and I'm working to build generational wealth with my family. I have very clear markers with my CFO that looks at my finances every quarter. He looks at my taxes and my finances, and I have a very clear marker when I want to buy luxuries. And I'll only buy luxuries if my assets that are a certain amount and my net worth is a certain amount, and that net worth is able to buy assets that'll pay for the luxuries. That's the only way that I'll do it. I don't buy shit to impress people that I don't like. I'm not here to impress people. I don't show my lifestyle. That's not important. What's important is my foundation, which is self-development. I'm very committed to self-development, my relationship with God. And I know in my brain that I will be a billionaire. And when I say that, people think money. It's a frequency. It's a vibration. It's magnetism. When you know that it's already finished, you operate within the present moment. You bring the future into your mind, and then you control your thoughts, you control your actions, and I control my reactions. And I'm not emotional about these markets. I'm not attached to them. If everything went to zero, I will still be the happiest man on earth. Well, that's a lie. I'm not here to be happy. I'm here to grow, but I'm happy in my chaos. I'm happy in my pain. I'm happy in my joy. What I mean by that is my relationship with God is my number one focus. Okay. So that's exactly what I'm doing, family. We teach this stuff inside the Warrior Academy. Again, we don't invest people's money. That's not us DMing you. People are using AI technology. And then we also have my company called Freedom Insurance, my Freedom Asset Management Group, which has my insurance team, which I'm a licensed insurance agent. You'll meet with one of my team members. And just bear with us. It'll take about 48 hours to get your appointment rolling. We have about 100 appointments a day coming in, which we're very grateful for. But it's a free consultation, guys. We're having a free conversation around your retirement. And most of you, I'll ask you a question right now. What's your retirement number? 99% of people we meet with have no idea. And that's okay because you've been indoctrinated that way. You need to know your retirement number because if you don't know what you want at retirement, you have no idea how to back into the daily activities or things that you need to do to get to retirement. Okay. I know very clearly on how much I want to retire to be able to travel the world, to be with my grandkids, if I have grandkids, to be with my grandkids, to experience this amazing world that God created. I know exactly how much I need per month, and my activities and my behaviors align with that and align with the ecosystem and frequency that will get me there. It doesn't matter if Trump comes back. It doesn't matter what you're doing or what this person doing who judges me. It matters what I do. It matters what I think. It matters my actions I take, and it matters my reaction to the judgment and all the things happening. I stay non-emotional. I keep my foundation tight. I work harder on myself than I do anything else. And you can do the exact same thing. Yes, it's going to get ugly in the physical world, but it's about transmuting that chaos into light. It's nothing new under the sun, family. This is nothing new under the sun. In order to understand the future, you have to understand the past. And it often does repeat, and it often does rhyme. And it's about to rhyme and repeat in a fashion that you could never imagine. And if you don't rewire the foundation, you're going to end up back in the same situation. Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.